Good evening, this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Kairaba Avenue, and I am Asma Uba. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. The Gambia hosted the annual SOS Children's Villages regional meeting, bringing together countries from West, Central and North Africa. The Food Safety and Quality Control Authority on Monday commenced a 5-day capacity building training on risk assessment for its scientific committee and ad hoc members. Amity Senior Secondary School on Saturday held a graduation and prize speech award ceremony for 230 students at the school grounds in Janjambure. In international news, at its 63rd Ordinary Summit in Guinea-Bissau on Sunday, ECOWAS leaders, including President Adama Barrow, elected Nigerian President Bola Tinubu as ECOWAS chairman. In sports news, South Sudan, the youngest country in the world, made history by qualifying for the 2023 FIBA Basket World Cup on its very first try. Those were main headlines. Now the news in detail. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. The Gambia hosted the annual SOS Children's Villages Training Meeting, bringing together countries from West, Central and North Africa to review their work, services and programs. Lena E. Igwinyiba reports.
The SOS Children's Villages Regional Program Development, Institutional Partnership, Communication and Brand Meetings held in the Gambia this year aim to ensure adherence to SOS Children Villages program quality standards, as well as regional and international instruments for children, such as the UN Guidelines for Alternative Care. The meeting gathered 100 participants from 21 countries, including representatives from SOS International and regional offices. Jean-Pierre Kwame serves as the National Director of SOS Children's Villages International.
This is a great privilege for SOS Children's Villages in the Gambia to be deemed able enough by the regional management to host 3 in 6 regional network meetings this year. We have the Program Development Network Meeting, the Institutional Partnership Development Network Meeting, and Communication and Brand Network Meeting, making a total of 3, if I'm not mistaken, almost 50% of the regional functions network meeting this year.
Salaja, Regional Program Director of SOS, emphasized the significance of enhancing the quality of their work.
What we want, in instance, is to really develop, innovate what we are doing, doing more of community-based development intervention within the communities, as we will have a great impact in the communities. By coming together with our colleagues from the fundraising team, we will also see how they can help us raise more funds, and also let us know what are the main topics, the main issues the donors want in the project area.
Fatou Kinte, the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, reaffirmed the government's dedication to safeguarding the rights of children in the Gambia.
The Gambia government is committed to respecting, promoting and fulfilling the rights of children, and to ensuring that all children in the Gambia receive comprehensive protection that contributes to the achievement of their full potential. And I have no doubt that there's the same interest and commitment that SOS also have when it comes to children's issues. The Gambia has enacted numerous laws to protect the rights of children, which includes the Constitution of the Gambia, 1997, and the Children's Act of 2005, which we are currently we have just revised, and it's at the level of the Ministry of Justice for reading in Cabinet, and then later in National Assembly for enactment.
SOS Children's Villages is the world's largest organization focused on providing children and young people without parental care or at risk of losing it, with the necessary care, relationships and support to develop into resilient individuals. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena E. Gwenyiba.
Now, food safety and quality assurance is a public good because the food we eat largely determines our individual health status or conditions. In recognition of this, the Food Safety and Quality Authority on Monday organized a 5-day capacity building training on risk assessment for its scientific committee and ad hoc members. Mumudulamin Choi has more.
For every consumer, safety and quality in the food we eat is an essential public health. This is the reason why the Food Safety and Quality Authority was established and tasked with the mandate to make sure that what we and the animals eat is safe for our health. At this capacity building training, food safety scientists are being further equipped on risk assessment on our food system. Dr. Amadou Sow is the board chair of the FSQA.
The specific knowledge and skills acquired during this training program will undeniably help the committee to effectively implement its mandate. It is also important to highlight that the scientific committee cannot execute its work effectively and accurately in the absence of data, such as exposure data.
Quality control of food goes through various processes, including risk assessment. This involves collecting and reviewing scientific data to identify biological or chemical hazards in our food system for informed decisions. Dr. Bless Watara is a food safety and quality specialist and the trainer for this capacity building program.
This training on risk analysis is very important because all the process for the development of food standards are based on science. And when we say based on science, we are talking about risk analysis and more specifically risk assessment.
Professor Macky Tal is the chairman of the FSQA Scientific Committee, which is mandated to provide expert and scientific advice on all aspects of food safety. An important point highlighted by Professor Tal are identified risk concerns on our food system.
In many cases, when we identify the risk, we will not be able to eliminate the risk. But then we can come up with mitigating circumstances where we can control the risk in where we can't eliminate it or at least account for the risk.
The lack of a quality control and food safety laboratory is also a major challenge facing the work of the FSQA. The authority mostly relies on food testing laboratories abroad to determine the quality and safety of the food we consume. Baidudu Jallo is the Scientific Affairs Director of the FSQA.
Government has already had a very good agreement with the World Bank, and the work of establishing a state-of-the-art food and drug testing laboratory have already started. And the building of this facility has commenced at Brusubi. The FSQA and the Medicine Control Agency and the Ministry of Health are working together for the setting up of this laboratory.
Participants in this training, most of whom are highly trained food safety experts, expect to gather more knowledge on assessing and mitigating food safety risks on the consumers for public health. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Amity Senior Secondary School on Saturday held a graduation, speech and prize award ceremony for 230 students at the school grounds in Janjambure. Loliam Kamara was there and she filed this report.
This is the 98th graduation held since the school's inception in 1927. These students have successfully completed 3 years of their academic journey. The joyous occasion brought together parents, guardians, well-wishers, teachers and guests from within and outside Janjambure. Sekuna Sibi, the principal of the school, says the event celebrates the achievements of their students and provides an opportunity for them to showcase their talents and receive recognition. Mr. Sibi further stated that the school has enrolled 940 students, out of which 502 are boys and 438 are girls. Out of the total, 485 are boarders and 455 are day students living in the community. Mr. Sibi commented on the overall performance of students from 2020 to 2022.
In 2020, 61% of our candidates got admission to institutions of higher learning, and for 2021, 61.5%, and in 2022, it was 63%, and in 2023, we are expecting better results. I am happy to note that our performance has improved greatly for the last 2 years. The tail box has reduced significantly, and the head is increasing. It's becoming bigger and bigger, meaning we are getting more passes now.
Amity High School, now senior secondary school, is in the Central River region. The school was established in 1927 by Governor Cecil Hamilton Armitage after World War II. Ami Kolembai, the board chairperson of the school, says the annual event is important as it recognizes the in-class and extracurricular activities of the students.
We are committed to providing favorable conditions for our students where they all can absorb good values and learn new things every day. Our priority has always been and always continue to put students' interest in the heart of everything we do, and we will not relent in our efforts until we achieve this.
Mohammed Waidabo, the deputy PRO of the Gambia Police Force, is an ex-student of the school. In his goodwill message, he thanked the school authorities for the opportunity to address students at his alma mater.
I remember the classrooms filled with eager minds, the teachers who believed in us, even when we doubted ourselves, and the friends who became family. These memories are etched in my heart, and they have saved me to be the person I am today.
Anna Nancy Mendy, the Director of Early Childhood and Inclusive Education at the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, was the guest speaker at the event.
Skills are very important, and it helps one to adjust to the realities of the employment market. As young people, you should be able to learn skills and utilize them in order to earn a living and become economically self-reliant members of the community.
Karamba Sambo, the outgoing head boy, gave the vote of thanks on behalf of his fellow students. At the end of the event, prizes and certificates were awarded to students and teachers for their hard work and dedication to duty. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
That story by Lolly M. Kamara takes us to a commercial break. When we return, we have more local, international, and sports news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I am Asma Uba. Now, 44 desks and tables were presented to Amity Senior Secondary School in Janjambure by its ex-students. The event took place during the school's 98th graduation ceremony on Saturday. Loliam Camera again.
This project, called Replace Your Desk and Chair at Your Alma Mater, is initiated by the class of 1970 with the aim of giving back to the school that contributed so much to their lives. This presentation follows an initial presentation held at the university campus in Carnifing in February this year. To further inspire and motivate the beneficiary students, the furniture, which consists of combined desks and benches, have the names and professions of the ex-students and influential people inscribed. Receiving the furniture, Sekuna Sebi, the principal, expressed gratitude to the donors and implored on the students to make best use of the equipment.
We should also be grateful to the support we are getting from ex-students now. Different bodies are coming. They want to make sure you get what you should. The burden now lies on you people. If much is given, we expect you to deliver as expected.
Ame Kolembai, the board chairperson of the Amity Senior Secondary School, commended the diaspora group for the initiative, which complement government's efforts.
This gesture is a clear testimony that Amity alumni recognizes the value of staying connected with the school at every stage and are inspiring increased pride and greater understanding of the school's mission and impact on our students. Yeah. The result of this engagement, pride and support, is benefiting every aspect of the school and empowering our students to achieve holistic quality education, considering the peculiarity of Amity as the only government boarding school.
Sila Konate, an ex-student of the school, presented the furniture on behalf of the diaspora group.
We want to thank our donors for this noble initiative, and we want to still ask them for more, because we need it. Amity needs it in various areas, IT, furniture, other facilities. So we now, like the principal said, we are calling on more badges to kind of come forward and donate as much as they can, so that Amity remains a very, very viable institution of learning.
Fatumata Ba, the head girl of the school, acknowledged and thanked the ex-students for their kind gesture. She says the chairs have brought them renewed sense of comfort and pride. Some of the inscribed names on the desk are the late Aliu Jame, a former diplomat and an ex-student; Sirif Lee, class of 87, Demba S. Balde, class of 91, and Aissatou Jao, class of 95, were among many others who donated to the cause. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
That story by Lolly M. Kamara takes us to international news in a moment. At its 63rd Ordinary Summit in Guinea-Bissau on Sunday, ECOWAS leaders, including President Adama Barrow, elected Nigerian President Bola Tinubu to lead the bloc's conference of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS, replacing Guinea-Bissau leader Umaru Sissoco Embalo. Aliou Cissé reports.
President Tinubu, who was making his maiden appearance at the summit as the new president of Nigeria, promised to serve the interest of the community, particularly to end political coups. He also pledged to convene a trade and investment summit in October as part of a bid to emphasize the importance of private sector-led economic growth in the West Africa region. Umar Aliou Touré, president of the ECOWAS Commission, urged the military juntas in Mali, Guinea and Burkina Faso to respect agreed deadlines for handing over power to civilian leaders. The West African Economic Monetary Union agreed to lift Mali's suspension from its bodies and institutions decided in January 2022. Gambian President Adama Barrow, who was accompanied to the summit by high-powered delegation of government officials, recognized the importance of Nigeria in the sub-region, and as such, he believes the election of President Tinubu will enhance the implementation of the sub-regional bloc's programs, especially on unconstitutional change of government. He advocates unity to address the other challenges facing the West African region, such as climate change. The summit looked at opportunities to restore fiscal space for countries that face difficult short-term financial challenges, especially the most indebted, mobilize innovative financing for countries vulnerable to climate change, foster development in low-income countries, and encourage investment in green infrastructure for energy transition in emerging and developing economies. While in Bissau, the Gambian leader met the Gambian community in Bissau, where issues affecting the welfare of Gambians there were discussed, including the right to vote in all national elections, acquiring national documents for their children, and challenges of cross-border free trade of goods and services. The rare meeting wrapped up with presentations of awards of recognition to former Gambian ambassadors to Bissau, notably the late Ambassador Aluke Jame, who had served in Bissau before being moved to Sierra Leone, where he passed away last May. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
Let's now take a look at sports news. Now, South Sudan, the youngest country in the world, made history by qualifying for the 2023 FIBA Basket World Cup on its very first try. The achievement has excited children across South Sudan, and it's likely to inspire other African nations. We look at them and the other 4 African qualifiers. Here is Mamadou Gajaga.
South Sudan's first ever qualification to the FIBA World Cup is being greeted with surprise and giving the African nations that failed to qualify. Perhaps we should even be more surprised. However, over the years, basketball players of South Sudanese origin have made their mark at the highest level of the game. They include Manute Bol, the first NBA player from Africa who featured for the Golden State Warriors during the 1989-1990 season. Luol Deng, who played for Great Britain at the international level. He was a 2-time NBA All-Star and was named to the NBA All-Defense second team in 2012. He is South Sudan coach and federation president, and the Bright Stars made history by reaching their first World Cup with 2 games to spare. South Sudan became the first team in African history to reach the World Cup at their first attempt. Along the way, they met and defeated several big guns of African basketball, including African champions Tunisia, Rwanda, DR Congo, Egypt, and Senegal. The other African teams that made it through are Angola, who have won the AfroBasket tournament 11 times. Angola are making their 9th appearance in the World Cup, all coming in the last 10 editions. The African powers will be playing in the 6th consecutive World Cup, having only missed the 1998 tournament. They have several players worth watching out for, including Childe Dundao and Bruno Fernando. Cape Verde will be historic debutants at the World Cup this summer, as the Africans became the smallest nation by population to reach the global showcase. Tubares Azul, the Blue Sacks, although making their debut, along with South Sudan, unlike the latter, they had made previous unsuccessful attempts at qualifying. Their players to watch include Walter Tavares, William Tavares, and Jeffrey Javier, who came out of retirement to help Cape Verde to their first World Cup. Côte d'Ivoire will be appearing on the global stage for the 5th time and the 2nd straight. It is the 2nd time the Elephants made back-to-back World Cups following 1982 and 1986. Suleiman Jobate and Assemi Mole are just 2 of the many players to watch from a side that had already qualified, while many still needed a second round of qualifiers. Egypt will be playing in their 7th World Cup. That is, if we include 2 they played as the United Arab Republic in 1959 and 1970. The country's best result came in the first World Cup in 1950, where Egypt beat Ecuador, Spain, France, and Chile to take 5th place. For Egypt, the players to watch are point guard Eshab Shaleh and the big man duo of Assem Marie and Anas Mahmoud. The FIBA Basketball World Cup will be held across 3 nations, the Philippines, Japan, and Indonesia, from the 25th of August to the 10th of September 2023. And we wish South Sudan and all the African teams the best of luck. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
Congratulations to South Sudan, and that's all we have for you. But before we go, a recap of our main news headlines. The Gambia hosted the annual SOS Children's Villages regional meeting, bringing together countries from West, Central and North Africa. The Food Safety and Quality Control Authority on Monday commenced a 5-day capacity building training on risk assessment for its scientific committee and ad hoc members. Amity Senior Secondary School on Saturday held a graduation and prize prize and speech award ceremony for 230 students at the school grounds in Janjanbureh. In international news, at its 63rd Ordinary Summit in Guinea-Bissau on Sunday, ECOWAS leaders, including President Adama Barrow, elected Nigerian President Bola Tinubu as ECOWAS chairman. In sports news, South Sudan, the youngest country in the world, made history by qualifying for the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup on its very first try. Now that's all we have for you on this news bulletin. Join us tonight at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.